Guys, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Julie Atto, and I'm back with a new video. I'm going to be talking about entering a new era, things I've learned, things that I'm going to be doing, things that I've done. I'm just going to have a little girly chit chat kind of type video. I want to do like more sit down videos on my channel because I don't know if you guys remember when I first started doing YouTube, I done a lot of sit down videos. And I just enjoyed doing them, and then somewhere along the lines I started doing a lot more vlogs. But I love a good chit chat, I love a good sit down. I definitely want to be doing a lot more of these on my channel. Let's talk about how we're going to be the best version of ourselves. Let's talk about how we're going to grow, how we're going to glow. But the first thing I want to talk about is like something that I've noticed about myself, and I feel like is so important in this kind of new era, and this season of growth and glowing, is sometimes I have to like isolate myself to grow. And I feel like that's something that I've learned and I've been doing, and it's okay to do that. Like I feel like that's part of growing, that's part of glowing. Sometimes you've got to put some time aside to really lock in on your goals and get to what you need to get to. Like you're not missing out on the fun or whatever it is that might be going on around you. Like, and even if you are, to do it so that you can grow and become better and get to a better place is totally acceptable, because you only look back on yourself and thank yourself that you took that time out to make sure that you looked in on your goals to do what you want. And I'm not saying don't socialize, like socialize and do things, but make sure that your main priority and your focus is whatever it is that you want and need it to be to get you to that next place. I think it's super important to do that. One of the things that I kind of noticed is I needed to like take a step back and understand myself, because I felt like it was getting to a point where I was just living. Like after I had my son, like I didn't really know who this new version of myself was. Like, you know, I was still kind of like in my early 20s, you know, I was just still figuring things out. I didn't really take time to like understand this new version of myself and get to know who she is and appreciate that. And I feel like when you start getting into your mid-20s and stuff, a lot shifts in your mentality, in your mindset. And I feel like me being a mum, like in my early 20s to me being a mum now in my mid-20s is so different. And that's kind of a little bit, this is where I ramble, but the point I'm trying to make is that I had to relearn myself and re-understand who is Julia, like what does she stand for, what are her morals, like what is she like doing, you know. And part of that could be because I became a mother, but I think part of that is also due to like me growing and me maturing. Like with the new age that I'm at now, I've definitely matured a lot, which I said in my last video, which is a fact. So it's something that I've obviously noticed, and I had to just sit back and just understand myself a bit better. So I feel like, yeah, that's another thing that's important when you want to like grow. Another thing I had to realize is like establishing my own relationship outside of my entity, if that makes sense. So outside of my family, my partner, my son, I had to also understand myself and kind of make a relationship with myself in a sense where it's like, what does Julie like doing? What do I like doing? I had to kind of relearn that. I feel like that's so important. I feel like it's so important to have your own relationship with yourself, if that makes sense. You know, finding the things that you love doing, that you enjoy doing, that brings you joy, that brings you happiness. I think that's something that I also learned that I had to do, is just kind of like have my own sort of relationship with myself, because if not, it's hard. Like it's hard to be a good friend, a good partner, a good person in a relationship, a good mother, you know, if you're not taking that time out to understand yourself and give yourself that self-love. Because I feel like when you're loving yourself, it's so much easier to love in other people, like because naturally you're just full of a lot of love, so you're going to want to spread that and give that out, and your energies are always going to be high. So another thing that I had to kind of like, you know, learn in terms of understanding myself in this new era that I'm trying to go into is that I have to take time out for myself to be the best version of myself. And taking time out for myself could be things like, what have I started like this year? Like I told you guys, I started the gym, you know, I got into Pilates heavy, like I go a lot more regularly now, you know, even taking myself on little lunch dates. I never used to go on solo lunch dates, but that's something that I do, and it makes me feel good and it makes me understand myself. So yeah, I feel like that's something that we should all be doing. Go out, go get brunch, you know, go get that massage, go to the spa that you always wanted to try out, go and get your nails done, go and get your hair done, which, oh, that's another point in itself. Like getting dressed, glamming up makes me feel good and I feel happy, you know. So when I do it for myself, have a cheeky little girls night out, or, you know, go to the spa, or just take myself to Pilates, or even if it's reading a new book or listening to a new podcast for myself over lunch, whatever it is, I feel like the little parts of self-care is so important, because that's how you're going to be able to love others. And I feel like me entering this new kind of era and, you know, this new part of womanhood, I guess, I found it so important to also make time for myself, because then I'm able to express that to others and just project that love to them as well, which I feel like is absolutely key, especially as a mother. Like, you definitely need to have time aside for yourself so that you could be the best version. Literally that, and you know, you'll feel happier. And I feel like if you're constantly in a space where you don't have separate entities and you don't do things by yourself outside of the people around you, then you kind of like get lost and you don't really know who you are or what it is you like doing, because how are you going to know what you like doing if all you do is impacted or based off of the people around you? You won't really get to know yourself. So I feel like it's important to take some time out to really understand yourself, do different things, try new things. Next year I want to try so much new things, like things I've never tried before, to understand myself a bit more. And I feel like that's so key when you're entering a new era, when you're entering a new era of growth, is understanding yourself, what you like, what you don't like, and so you're able to also set boundaries, and it's just a whole lot better. I'm still learning, I'm still growing, but me taking these little steps to understand myself better has changed me drastically in a good way. Because I feel like when you understand yourself, nobody can play with you. When you're sure of who you are and you understand yourself and you're confident in yourself and what it is that you stand for and what it is that you like doing, you're good. No one can play with you. Your boundaries are there. You know what you enjoy, you know what you don't enjoy. Like, life is obviously going to be a whole lot better, and I'm still learning, I'm still growing, and I'm still on a path. But I feel like it's super key to understand yourself and to do things outside of the people that you love and you care about, because they're always going to be there. You're always going to have time to do things with them, but it's so important to love on yourself and do things for yourself as well. And to further that point, I feel like it's super important to have a circle of people around you who also understand you as a person, because when the people understand how you are, how you operate, the things that you like, the things that you don't like, it kind of makes everything a lot smoother. Obviously life is life and we all have to learn how to like maintain our relationships and do what is right. However, when you have people that are in your circle, that are around you, that fully understand you, then it's easier to do these things. And I feel like it's super, super important. Like, when I think about my friends, for example, my friends and the people I have around me totally get me. Like, we are literally all on the same kind of path right now. We're all in our mid-20s, growing together, getting to the point where it's like, okay, cool, we're not in our early 20s anymore. We can't play. We got a lot done on our goals. And I feel like we've all got to that point of understanding. And we know that, yes, we have to create time and make time for ourselves, but then we also have a lot of grace. And I feel like grace is super important in adult friendships and in womanhood and in growing in general. You have to have grace and understanding. Another thing that I find important, and I feel like I want to take it to 2024 and I've learned, and I feel like it's part of this entering a new era, is less speaking, more action. As in, this new era that I'm going into is going to be less speaking, more action. You see today how I'm in this studio, right? And I'm filming this video to like make myself feel good, to give myself a different setting, and to just really get into like everything that I want to do in terms of my content. No one knows. Nobody knows that I'm sitting here right now in this studio filming this video, because I just feel like yappity, that's what I was doing. A lot of talking, oh, I'm gonna do this, oh, I'm gonna do that. Like, I will talk about everything, but why? Like, why do you need to talk about every single move you're gonna make or every single thing you're gonna do? Like, me sitting in the studio and filming a video isn't that big of a deal, but the point I'm trying to make is that when I used to, you know, like do things, I would talk, oh, I want to go to the studio one day and film content and, you know, elevate my content. Like, why do we need to talk about that? Like, why can't we just do it? So I feel like in this new season where I'm at, less talking, more action. I'm just gonna do the things that I said I'm going to do. We don't need to talk about it. Like, we don't need to talk about it. We just need to keep the action going. In 2024, we are not talking, we are just doing. More action, less talking. And I feel like that's also a part of growing and entering this sort of new womanhood and this kind of like elevating ourselves and entering this new era. We need to stop talking less. I need to stop talking a lot. I need to just keep the action going. And I feel like it's just important, like, to do that, because it puts that pressure on yourself, and you'll feel better with yourself when you're just coming out with boom, boom, action. You'll feel a lot better rather than talking and then action, or talking and then they're not doing it, or talking then changing direction, or talking and something goes wrong and you have to explain it. No, let's just do the action, let the results speak for us. That's the vibes, that's what I'm trying to do myself. I'm not saying I'm Miss Perfect and I don't talk about everything I want to do. Sometimes that might happen, but the main key is just getting things done. Another thing that I had to stop doing as well is comparing myself, because I feel like comparison is the thief of joy. Like, it literally is the thief of joy. When you compare yourself to other things that you see going on in the world or out there or on social media, wherever it is, whatever it is, it takes the gratitude away from what you actually have going on. There's so much to be grateful for. Like, there's literally so much to be grateful for, and your story, your path is always going to be different to the next person's story and to the next person's path. And I feel like it's super important for us to just stop comparing and just live in our own world, our own bubble, and be the best version of ourselves, because God has made us all individual in his image. Like, our life path, our life calling is different to the next person's. So how can you compare, you know? So I feel like it's super important to like not compare ourselves to anyone or anything we see going on out there, because you don't know how they got there, what they're doing, how they're doing it. And that's just the truth, you know, and your path is going to be your path. Like, that's it, you know. And when you focus on yourself and where you want to go and your goals, your achievements, your dreams, and everything that you want to accomplish, then it can only be good. When you're looking at others like, oh, this person's doing this, oh, this person's doing that, how are you going to focus on where you need to be? You're going to be too focused on what else is going on, like other people and what they're doing, and that's not going to move you forward. Do you know what I mean? So another thing that we need to do is just be happy, be grateful, focus on our path, focus on our calling, focus on our direction, and God will handle the rest. Another thing I want to talk about is putting God first. That's something I've had to do this year, and he's God, guys. When I tell you, when you put God first, every other thing will be added. And I know I keep saying it, but it's genuinely the truth. When you put God at the pinnacle and at a focal point, there's no way that he's not going to back it up. You know, work without faith is nothing, vice versa. We got to put in the work, we got to have faith in God, and he will handle the rest. He will literally handle the rest. And I feel like that's super important, and I feel like that's number one, if anything. Thumbs up if that's you, because that's definitely what I want to do. I feel like it's time to grow. And it's not just growing, you know, in a certain field, it's growing in every aspect, in every area of our lives. I feel like it's super important, and I feel like I want to grow and I want to glow in every area of my life. But the first step of doing it is understanding that that's what you want to do. And if you're watching this video, then clearly you've reached a point of understanding, and that's absolutely amazing. That's the first step, that's the best step. Me too, I'm not perfect, we're on this journey together, and I definitely want to grow and glow a lot more in 2024 and achieve my goal. I feel like as a woman, you know, I'm talking about womanhood and growing and being in my mid-20s and understanding myself a bit more. I've had to understand that looking good makes me feel good, and I feel like keeping up with my maintenance and just feeling good on a daily, and even just going out and dressing up and getting glam, literally puts me at a better place. And I feel like it's so important for women to like present themselves well. And don't get me wrong, you will catch me on a normal day in a tracksuit, with some athleisure, probably athleisure, because that's literally my wardrobe, but it's a little bit dulled down, I'm not going to lie. However, you know, I feel like it's super important for us as women to take care of ourselves, you know, do the things that make us feel feminine, because that's what womanhood is about, you know. Like, that is literally what womanhood is about. That's what it is to be a woman, to take care of ourselves, because we give so much, we do so much, we go through a lot. As women, there's a lot that we do, so I feel like it's super important for us to make sure that we're looking after ourselves, we're feeling good, you know, inside and out, and we're doing the things that we love, you know. Look after yourself a bit more, you know. And that's something that I want to do next year. Is, like I was saying before, like I didn't really prioritize myself a lot. Like, I did in bits, I'm not going to lie, but it wasn't a continuous thing. And that's something that I want to change next year. I want to look after myself more. I want to take myself to the spa more, you know. I want to take myself on more brunch dates. I want to make sure that I'm feeling good as well, because it's super important. No matter if we have goals and dreams and things that we want to achieve, I feel like it's super important that we're also looking after ourselves within that as well, because, you know, when you look after yourself, you feel good, you feel better, and like I said before, you're able to pour out even more, and that's, you know, that's good. And yeah, that's it really. So yeah, I feel like this video was a whole bunch of different things and different topics. The thing I want to stick with in this video is that you are not alone on this journey. We're on this journey together, and we're gonna grow, we're gonna reach new heights. And yeah, let's actually do this for real. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. I want to get back into my chit chat videos. Like I said, I'm going to do a lot more fun ones as well, not just like sit down girl talk, but just different things. And I hope that you guys are excited to see this type of content. Let me know in the comment section below if you enjoyed this video and if you want to see more content like this. Thank you so much for watching this video. I'm in a new setting. I want to try and have fun with my channel and create different types of videos and just have fun with it, because I guess That's what it's all about. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in my next one.